Some 23 million Americans have fallen ill during this cold and flu season alone. When illness strikes, most people focus on medication, rest, and waiting it out. Food tends to be an afterthought, something to get through rather than something to actively deploy in service of recovery. But Cleveland Clinic nutritionist Kavitha Krishnan is direct on this point. Poor nutrition before or during the healing process can delay recovery, while eating well can help the body heal faster and fight infection. The reason is biological. Viruses and other pathogens attack the immune system by targeting and destroying white blood cells. The vitamins and nutrients found in specific foods support the immune response that replaces and activates those cells, reduce the inflammation that makes symptoms worse, and provide the raw materials the body needs for tissue repair. Understanding which foods serve which function and in which illness context they are most relevant turns eating when sick from a passive act into an active one. Respiratory illness, the case for zinc. When the illness is respiratory, a cold, influenza, or RSV, the essential mineral zinc deserves attention first. Zinc plays a direct role in the production of the immune systems that fight the pathogens behind respiratory infections, and its involvement in protein and collagen synthesis, tissue growth, and wound healing makes it relevant beyond the acute phase of illness as well. A 2016 study found that people given zinc lozenges reduced the duration of cold symptoms by up to 3 days, a meaningful effect by any measure. The richest food source of zinc is raw oysters, with 32 milligrams in a 3-ounce serving, well above the daily recommended amount of 11 milligrams for men and 8 milligrams for women. Oysters are not always the most appealing option when feeling unwell, but more accessible alternatives exist. A bowl of fortified cereal provides around 2.8 milligrams per serving and is gentle on the stomach. Half a cup of lentils, enough for a hearty lentil soup serving, contributes 1.3 milligrams. Building meals around these sources while sick provides consistent zinc exposure without requiring foods that strain a compromised appetite. Vitamin C from oranges and bell peppers has a well-documented track record in lessening both the severity and duration of cold symptoms, though the evidence suggests it works better as a consistent dietary habit than as an emergency intervention taken only when symptoms appear. Vitamins E and A add a complementary layer of immune support through their antioxidant activity, which guards against the harmful inflammation that leaves tissue susceptible to infection and slows recovery. Low vitamin A levels are specifically associated with delayed wound healing, making adequate intake particularly relevant during the repair phase of illness. A cup of cooked spinach provides close to the full 900 microgram daily recommendation for vitamin A, while a cup of fortified cereal covers most of the 15 milligrams of vitamin E most adults need daily. Vitamin D, found in salmon, shiitake mushrooms, and egg yolks, rounds out the respiratory illness nutritional picture. A 3-ounce serving of sockeye salmon provides 400 of the 700 international units recommended daily for adults under 70. While vitamin D supplementation does not consistently shorten cold duration, it plays a documented role in preventing infections and supporting overall immune competence, making salmon a particularly useful food to prioritize during cold and flu season and while recovering from respiratory illness. Gastrointestinal illness, the bland, the gentle, and the hydrating, stomach flu, food poisoning, and viral gastrointestinal illness call for a different nutritional strategy entirely. When the digestive system is actively rebelling, the priority is not maximizing nutrient density, but giving the gut a chance to recover while keeping dehydration at bay. Experts recommend small, bland meals during the acute phase, typically for 1 to 3 days until symptoms stabilize. The foods most commonly recommended are low-fiber starches that are easily digestible and help reduce the frequency of bowel movements. Toast, plain noodles, saltine crackers, bananas, white rice, clear broth, applesauce, and plain boiled potatoes. The Mayo Clinic confirms that these low-fiber options are ideal for treating active digestive symptoms, providing some caloric intake and settling the gut without adding fiber-driven motility that would worsen diarrhea. Hydration is even more critical than food during gastrointestinal illness. Vomiting and diarrhea both accelerate fluid and electrolyte loss, and dehydration compounds every other symptom, making fevers worse and prolonging recovery. Cleveland Clinic family medicine specialist Dr. Neha Vyas identifies hydration as the body's most urgent need when fighting any illness, placing it above any specific food choice. The recommendation for general hydration during illness is 15 cups per day for men and 11 for women, taken in small sips every few minutes to avoid triggering additional nausea. Chicken broth serves double duty here, providing both hydration and small amounts of sodium and potassium to support electrolyte balance, while herbal teas add warmth and comfort alongside their hydrating contribution. Chronic inflammation, the long game. The third illness context addressed here is less acute than a cold or stomach bug, but ultimately more consequential for long-term health. Chronic inflammation, the body's natural injury response that has gone on too long or is misdirected against the body's own tissue, is implicated in cancer, cardiovascular disease, lung disease, and dementia, collectively the leading causes of death in the United States. Managing chronic inflammation through diet is a long-term strategy rather than a short-term intervention. But the food choices that support it are specific and well-documented. UChicago Medicine's Dr. Edwin McDonald recommends a Mediterranean or plant-based dietary pattern, low in red meat and processed foods, and high in antioxidant-rich nuts, olive oil, beans, fruits, vegetables, and dark chocolate. Berries deserve particular mention because they contain among the highest antioxidant concentrations of any common food, with blueberries at the top. Combining blueberries with anti-inflammatory Greek yogurt and a small amount of honey produces a snack that addresses inflammation through multiple nutritional pathways simultaneously. Leafy greens like kale as a dinner side dish and colorful bell peppers stuffed with other vegetables represent practical ways to increase antioxidant density in everyday meals. The color principle applies broadly. More colorful vegetables and fruits tend to signal higher concentrations of the plant pigments that carry antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Dr. McDonald's most important point is also his most sobering. To make any significant difference in chronic inflammation, it is necessary to focus on long-term eating habits and an anti-inflammatory lifestyle rather than individual foods or short-term interventions. No single food changes the inflammatory picture meaningfully on its own. The cumulative effect of consistent dietary choices over months and years is what determines whether the body's inflammatory baseline supports health or undermines it. Across all three illness contexts, the underlying principle from Krishnan applies equally. Nutrition is not a passive backdrop to recovery, but an active participant in it. The body fighting a respiratory virus, recovering from gastrointestinal illness, or managing chronic inflammation is drawing on nutritional reserves at an accelerated rate. Meeting those demands through intentional food choices, whether zinc-rich lentil soup during a cold, clear broth through a stomach bug, or a consistent pattern of antioxidant-rich meals over the long term, is one of the most direct and accessible levers available for supporting the body's own healing capacity.